It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, welcome back.
There's one thing to say. Can I do it?
Go for it.
Go Sports! Okay, this morning we're joined by the incredible Stormers and Springbok legend, Stephen Kitshoff. It's going to be such an incredible conversation as he reflects on his illustrious career since hanging up his boots, now sharing his unforgettable moments with us and the incredible impact he's had on the game, both on but also off the field. We're going to get into all those details. But before we even start the conversation with Kitsy himself, let's get this out the way. Let's have a look.
Stephen Kitshoff, he's a little teddy bear. He's one of my very good friends.
Ek en Kitsy het saam begin speel actually op skool al. Ek was matriek, hy was graad 11. Skrywenweek, eerste keer dat Skrywenweek gewen het en baie lank dink ek.
Meeting him the first time, I think it was around 2010. He was still in high school and scrummed against him. I was in the under-19 team. And I thought, yo, what a beast. He was a bit awkward back then, very shy.
I met him, he was still 18 years old. I remember that first day he got into the gym and there wasn't big enough dumbbells for him to press. So I was like, yes, this kid is strong and quiet. So yeah, I think that was probably my first impressions is, yes, this kid is going to be one of the big ones for South Africa.
As he grew up, we became closer, and yeah, I think our friendship grew. You see what a good man he is, what a team man he is. Very selfless guy. Yeah, would do anything for the betterment of the team.
He's this intense competitor when he's on the field, but as soon as he gets off the field, it just changes into that very chilled, mannered guy who just actually wants to give love. He cares really deeply for all his teammates and for his friends, and I've been lucky to form a fearsome partnership.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, can we get a round of applause? Oh, buddy, I'm sorry that we did that to you, man. And I'm really glad as well, because I think to understand the impact that you've made, we can only look into the eyes of the players around you, buddy. How are you feeling at this crazy, I would imagine, absolutely amazing but crazy watershed moment in your life? How are you doing, bro?
I mean, that video is another emotional start to my day, but no, I think just reflecting a bit back on my career, I mean, I was so blessed to be part of such incredible teams. I mean, if you think about the games I played for the Springboks, how well the Stormers have been doing the last couple of years, actually managing to captain them and lead them from the front. The URC win. Going from a Stormers outfit that's almost had to close their doors because of internal issues, coming back as a group of players and actually performing and playing well and getting to a point where we actually get a home final and end up winning the thing. I think those moments you cherish, and those are the things that stick with me even through like tough times now. It's like thinking back and like, flip it, that was...
You've done it.
Unreal. There was unreal moments in my career and that no one can take away from me. So, yeah, that's special.
And so many of these moments are peaks that very few others will ever get to even realize. And I suppose 100%. There are certain privileges within that get earned, like the privilege of walking out onto that field at Newlands. When you feel that, when you feel the guys that you've grown up in the same circles with, it's your community, you can connect those dots. I grew up there, now I'm here. What is that feeling like?
Yeah, I think playing Cape Town and representing Western Province from youth levels all the way through till matric and then into the senior squad. There's faces you've been seeing in the crowd for years on end, sitting in the same seats, and you know these guys have been supporting you from day one. Those things are special, and like playing at DHL Stadium, it's just such a magical place at the moment, because when the Stormers play there, there's 30,000.
It's like an international,
Yeah, 30,000 plus people coming out supporting you, bringing their family of four, paying for their ticket, and actually just want to be entertained by a great brand of rugby that the Stormers have been producing the last couple of years. So, no, it's just amazing just being part of such a awesome community, as you said, and being part of such a great team. with management and higher level staff, like just representing, doing as best we can, and hopefully putting a smile on a fan's face.
Yes,
It really does take a
100%.
village in that space.
It
really
does. When you think about your growth being a player, like from day one, I mean, a couple of them mentioned that you started with them in high school to where you are now. When you think about that growth, are you also taken aback with the path that you even went on?
Did you think you would be this good?
No, geez, John de Villiers, I saw John de Villiers over the weekend, so
Yeah.
they had the Citadel experience then. At Blair Ethel, and he always comments when he speaks about me, is like, when I arrived at the Stormers, I had 18 words a week.
Sure.
That was my
That was your quota.
That was my quota of words that I spoke, and I was always the shy.
Yeah.
Always had a big smile on my face. Always just enjoyed the moment. But I think as my rugby career went on, I became more confident in leading teams, being the front man, almost being the face of the team, and I think that's where I probably saw the most growth. As went from the shy 18-year-old red-8 kid coming into a very professional environment to becoming a seriously good player and
Come
captain in that squad.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably the growth that I really have to thank rugby for, because that's made me who I am today.
Right.
Also, it's a responsibility you took on board to become that leader within those teams, often not
Yeah.
asked. It had to happen, and
Yeah.
you did it. Yes or no answer. Are you the strongest Springbok? Because every other Springbok says you're the strongest Springbok. Please just say yes, man.
Unapologetically.
Yeah, like bit of a longer answer, but I think I used to be, but I've lost that status recently.
And that only happened 2 weeks ago.
Exactly,
Only 2 weeks ago. Up until that point, he was, and he will always remain. No, there's a kind of strength in this space that goes far beyond the physical, and I think that's what's been proven over the years. And also a turn of pace, a little bit of speed that I think's caught in a few backline players napping. Stephen Kitshoff is not going anywhere. If you've got any comments, if you've got any questions, we're going to continue our chat with this absolute rugby legend in just a moment. Stick around.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. We are with two-time World Cup winning Springbok, Stephen Kitshoff, who just, exactly 2 weeks ago, in fact, announced his retirement and the start of a very amazing new chapter in his incredible life. And he is here with us this morning. So we put it to you guys to pose any questions, and a couple have come through. So I'm going to jump right on this, if you don't mind. It looks all safe. I would imagine nothing too emotional, but a little bit of emotion is going to be okay. Portia Mapundi wrote in saying, what's your take on the current state of South African rugby, and where do you see the team headed in the future? Wow, she's weighing in with some heavy hitters. But how do you feel? Because it does feel like we're in a special place right now, man.
Yeah, I think South African rugby is in a great space. I think just with, if you check the alignment camp that's coming up, or this, I think it's this week, just the amount of numbers that Rassie actually brought into the camp. So you can see there's future planning, there's succession planning, and it's actually trying to generate a group of, say, 100 players that could easily fit into the Springbok mold. So you can see there's a clear picture, and you can see there's a clear path forward for where South African rugby wants to be. So I think it's in a special place. I think the teams are playing well. Here and there, result not going our way, but I think overall, South African rugby is in a
good place. Yeah, the move to the Northern Hemisphere seems to have done all the right kind of things. And I think it matters for the players to see that. They must see how they can get there to that Springbok setup and what that strategy is. I love that. This is the best question ever coming in here. Do you have any hidden talents other than bench pressing, which is not so hidden anymore?
When I was younger, I used to be very good at wakeboarding, but
Really?
But yeah, as the body got older, I think I try to keep the boat a bit slower and just try and enjoy myself. But yeah, I think for a guy who weighs 130 kilos every now and then,
The transferal of energy. I'm
Yes,
thinking I'd like to know
that's
the physics that's involved with that. I love that. Then Carol Harris wrote in, are you going to coach and cope? We hope to see you around Roy Kopi.
Yeah.
I mean, that was going to be one of my questions. You're sitting with critical knowledge here, knowledge that needs in the tight, knowledge about scrumming, knowledge about open play, knowledge about the pinnacle of the sport. Are you going to pour back in?
no, I think so. rugby's been so special to me. Like, it's been such a big part of my adult life, and I would love to like just transfer that knowledge somehow. I can't see myself going into like full-time head coach. I think
Who wants that stress?
I think I've stressed enough in my rugby career, but I think there is a place for me in either a Stormer setup or a schooling setup where I can give knowledge and consult and mentor players. I think that's more of a role I see for myself, and trying to develop youngsters into something special.
A continuation of what you've been doing in the fold. So I don't think that's going to stop, whether you're doing it consciously or unconsciously. People are going to be phoning you every day for advice. I think it's going to happen. Who do you phone for advice when you had to make this decision? Talk me through that process. Obviously, Amy is in your corner all the time, so I would imagine she had a major role to play in this. Did you phone any other players to get some kind of understanding of how to approach this? Because it is a big decision, man.
Yeah, I've been between my folks, Amy's folks, the specialist, the doctor that operated on me. I got a lot of information about what they think was the best, but I never really felt like it's becoming my decision. So I actually phoned Julian Relinga. He's
Oh, wow.
ex-Springbok and forwards coach of the Lions, and he went through a similar thing. He also broke his neck, was forced into retirement, early retirement due to it. So probably like the one question I did ask him is like, how did you come to that decision?
Get to that point. Yeah.
And his answer was clear. It was like, listen, I just had to think about my family, and I had to think about the next 40 years of my life. Like, how can your next 40 years equate to maybe playing another 2-3 years? How can you make that decision? And it actually made it very clear for me that
It's a no-brainer.
it's a no-brainer to pick safety and health over another couple of years.
And as you say this, and I can feel this energy in this entire space, you're not expendable, you're not disposable, it's your body. So how are you doing? How do you feel within yourself right now, man?
Yeah, neck's a bit tight and mobility's a bit low, but otherwise I'm actually feeling all right. Like, I think the aches and pains probably going to come at a later stage, but I started getting back into the gym slowly, just trying to keep my fitness back up. But otherwise, I'm actually feeling fine. Golf swing's looking good, so.
And I could feel the swag before you even said that. I knew you were going to talk about golf as that tone kind of kicked in. You're going to have the time now to do a few things by choice. And I don't think a huge amount, as much as you are all in with every day that you do the rugby thing. You have life now. You have an opportunity to go out there and do some stuff that you might have put on a back burner. What does that look like for you? What are you most excited about now?
Oh, I think it was just the couple of business projects and opportunities I actually created while I was playing rugby, because rugby did take a big part of my life. It took a lot of hours out of my day, but I think something that's truly exciting me at the moment is having that transfer from full-time rugby player into hopefully successful businessman, and that actually gets me out of bed and excited in the mornings, because like trying to create your own schedule, trying to create meetings, like those things is unknown for me. So it's becoming part of my daily life, and actually it excites me in that I feel that rush again from closing a deal or seeing a new client and possibly talking about something new. And that's creating a lot of excitement for me at the moment.
And for us as well, I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of you over this next year. Well, we're going to see a lot of him over the next hour, because we're not going to let you leave. We're going to make you cook. We're going to make you play some games, maybe even test your rugby knowledge. Carissa is on a mission to learn sports, and she's going to put us both to the test in just a moment. But I'm going to say this more to myself than to you. It's okay to grieve. It's all right to be emotional, and it's all right because everyone is feeling that. So I'm so sorry we're dumping all of our emotions on you. But you can't play a career like this and not expect this kind of reaction. So please continue to share the love. We've got Stephen Kitshoff with us here talking about the next phase of what sounds like the most amazing phase of his career. But we're not letting him go anywhere. So if you've got any questions, send them our way.